Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Royce, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh, and you can give us a call tonight on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Andrew Fillipponi joins me from his house tonight, and we're going to be talking about the Steelers, Bucco Fever. I got it, Pony. Big day tomorrow for the Pirates. I mean, this is the most excitement that I felt in a long time surrounding the Pirates. We saw it last week when it was leaked. McCutcheon's coming back this week. He's going to be introduced tomorrow after a physical over at PNC Park. I know he's not going to turn this franchise around, but obviously this is good on and off the field for the Pirates. They need anything to get some excitement around this team.
Yeah, and I understand what some of the Pirates critics will say, that, it's not spending money to win a World Series. It's not going crazy in free agency. It's not making a big trade. I agree. I want to see the Pirates do some of those things someday. It stinks when you're in a cycle of rebuilding and you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You're stuck there. You can't get out of it. But as far as just moves go, it's okay, in my opinion, to celebrate this one and be excited about this one. Even if a team has a poor record of winning on the field, that doesn't mean that every single thing they do is wrong. So this, I think, is a victory by the Pirates this offseason to bring in a guy who can still play at a decent level. There were good teams who were interested in McCutcheon. He has a connection to Pittsburgh. He loves the city. He still lives here. He can have an impact on the young Pirates who frankly need someone to take on more of a leadership role with some of the shenanigans that went on here last year with cell phones falling out of guys' pockets and eating sunflower seeds while games are going on. So I think it's okay if you are excited as a Pittsburgh sports fan about a former MVP and an overall good guy named Andrew McCutcheon coming back home to play for the Pirates. I know I'm pumped about it.
Yeah, I know, and he's a competitive guy. I know him, and he's going to want to play, Pony. I know a lot of fans.
And he should.
Yeah, and he should. And a lot of fans are saying that he's taking playing time away from a young guy, but I don't care.
Like who?
That's what I mean. That's what people – I get that. I got those calls last week. I think it's ridiculous. He's might be their best outfielder, pure outfielder right now. I mean, you got Brian Reynolds, who's probably better at the plate now, but I think Andrew McCutcheon still is your best outfielder, defensively maybe, of these guys. But I don't see anything bad about this. Look, he's up there in age now. He's not the same player he was in 2013. You might have to platoon him at some point. He might not play. He's not an everyday player is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's okay. There aren't really a lot of guys in Major League Baseball. Even the best players don't play as much as they used to. I mean, Reynolds is an exception to that. Even Cruz was getting taken out of the lineup against lefties last year because he was having such a hard time hitting those guys. His batting average was under 100 against them. Maybe there's something Andrew McCutcheon is a great right-handed hitter can help him with against lefties. I don't know. I mean, they have made some moves as far as older veterans. They've got the oldest pitcher in baseball, Rich Hill. They've got another guy in his late 30s in Carlos Santana, not the singer, but the first baseman in DH, who was a part of a Seattle playoff team last year and has played on a lot of winning teams in his career. These are guys that you hope will have a positive influence on their younger guys. Now, I think with Santana and Hill, they probably will get traded if they played well. I'm not so sure about Andrew McCutcheon. I think there are a lot of fans who want to go back to a game or two this year to see the guy and salute him on a great Pirates career. And I see nothing wrong with that. That's why the Cardinals signed Albert Pujols last offseason, Richie. They wanted him to come home and retire as a Cardinal. And I think the same, hey, if it's good enough for the Cardinals, it should be good enough for the Pirates.
Yeah, and from my understanding, I don't know if they will trade him or if he might have a no trade clause. But I mean, these are some things that we'll find out tomorrow. But I mean, from my understanding, this is going to be his last year, so he wants to end it in Pittsburgh. So I'd imagine he has some kind of.
What is the Bucko fever right now? Is it broken 100? Is it a low grade fever?
I mean, I'm at like 101. Okay. I mean, I look, it's exciting. And here's the reason why I'm excited. I had a lengthy conversation with Neil Walker the other day, and he feels like this is 2012 all over again. I agree. We talked about that. I mean, is that the kind of feeling you have? They're close to being a contender. Maybe next year, maybe it's the year after.
Yeah. I think they're probably closer to 2011 because in 2011, they were coming out of a 105 loss season and they were really good for half the year and then they tailed off.
Yeah. Same thing in 12, right? They were good for half a year again.
Yeah, they were good for about 5 months in 12 and just played a rotten September where they were one of the worst teams in September baseball history. They looked like they were a shoo-in to end their run of losing seasons, and then they didn't. That was not gradual. They fell right off the cliff and plummeted. If they do make strides like Neil is saying, that's when I'm going to want to see the Pirates make some moves in the offseason to really make a run towards making the playoffs. There are some young guys at AAA, at AA. Let's see those guys come up this year. Let's see them get their feet wet. And then I guess to Neil's point, in 2024, you'll think, okay, these guys are major leaguers now. It's time to win some games.
All right, we could continue the conversation with the Buccos. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. Also talk about some of the things Kenny Pickett said today on the Pat McAfee Show. Back in a couple minutes.